The 1930s was a decade of massive significance in global history. The industrialised world was still trying to find a light at the end of the tunnel after the chaos of the Wall Street crash and ensuing recession. Sinister forces were at work as communism started to bite deep into the lives of great nations, and fascism cast its dark shadow over the map of Europe. But God was at work. In Liverpool, a huge marquee was set up on the field at Lister Drive. Thousands flocked to hear the good news of the gospel, and many experienced a life-changing movement of God that was to result in the birth of a church. Let's hear from one of those early converts as she remembers the early days of Bethel Church. So I believe that the church was started in 1934, but for a couple more years after that the tent stayed in place. But the church met in different places. Can you remember where any of the places were?
Oh yes. The Premier, or some people say Premier.
Was that a cinema?
Yes, in Brescia Road,
Right.
nearby Green Lane.
Yeah.
We used to go to Central Hall.
In Renshaw Street, yeah.
Yes. We have been to most of the big halls you can think of, I can't bring to mind now. And most of the cinemas in town.
Right.
The casino.
The ice rink?
I was baptised in the casino. Imagine the skating rink.
Yeah.
And we all marched through singing, I will follow Jesus.
How many of you would there be?
In the Crusaders, in the early Crusaders. 60.
Wow.
How about the 3rd of October 1936, Brian? Because that was the laying of the foundation stone.
Right.
And it was really a great day in the history of Tuebrook, Bethel Church. Pastor Jeffries came, and we all bought a brick to start off with. We all marched in with our bricks. Saturday the 20th of December, Brian, I've written, what a day. Pastor Jeffries at all the services was just like old times. Everybody sang my consecration hymn. I'm so happy. Hallelujah.
Those bricks that Nell was talking about were to build what is now the church hall. In 1957, the then secretary of the church, Albert Rimmer, and its pastor, Billy Kennedy, urged the whole congregation to sacrificial giving so that a new church could be built. And it was in 1968 that the people caught the vision, and the ideas which the deacons under Mr. Rimmer had inaugurated took off.
Rosalie. I watched them silently, the demolition men, so casual, and then I gaze in awe again at our Rosalie. This house so rich yet poor. The memories cannot fade, even when the hoe and spade the final blow has made, and it's no more. There's such a different noise from what we used to hear, week in, week out, each year, from girls and boys. But now, the splintered glass, the wood upon the lawn, the lino tattered, torn, this February morn, for time must pass. What happiness was found beneath its shelter there, a blessed house, and rare. Now most of it is bare and to the ground. I offer up my praise to God for our Rosalie, and our new church to be. Now I look happily to future days.
The universe displayed.
The new church was opened in 1971.
Jesus, my Savior. Lord, there is none like you. All of my days, I want to praise the wonders of your mighty love.
So here we are, 70 years on. The faces have changed and fashions certainly have changed. But one thing that has remained constant over all of these years is the faithfulness of God to his people at Bethel. This was the Lord's doing, and it's marvellous in our eyes. And who knows what the next 70 years may hold.
And then on the other sentences, Pastor Wales gave a lovely message on the hope of a Christian. What a hope! We shall see him face to face. And that's the last of those.